I might have made one of the worst decisions of my life, or I might have made one of the best. But this just isn't about an old T4. This vehicle is going to be the test bed for a much bigger project. Talking the components, systems and decisions involved in building a campervan. I'm going to be speaking to converters, manufacturers and suppliers to find out the different components and what they actually do, why you might choose one over another, and then install them and test them out. So whether you've got a T4, a brand new T7, a Mercedes Sprinter, Kia PV5 or any van, the van doesn't matter. It's the information, and the information applies to all vans, any van. This van might be 1999, but the information certainly is not. This is my new van, and as you can see, it's not actually very new at all. In fact, it is quite old. It is 26 years old. This was born in 1999. You know what was number one in 1999 when this was born in December? And it does have a few problems which I'm going to have to sort out. It's like a shell suit of the 90s. It's got the usual bit of rust. The interior is a little bit tatty. Carpets might be falling off in different places. The wheels definitely need changing. It hasn't got air conditioning, which is something I certainly need to be sorting out. The back is a blank canvas, but that is a good thing. Yeah, I might have made a mistake. Yes, you might be mocking me in the comments, but ah well, you only live once, don't you? I actually really like it. What am I going to be doing with this van? Well, I've got big plans. I'm going to be turning it into a camper van. I'm going to have a full electrical system, solar panel on the roof. It is going to have to be very beefy because I'm going to have an air conditioning unit. I've already uprated the alternator on the van. It's now got a 120 amp alternator because yes, it is going to be pulling quite a bit. There's going to be furniture, cooking facilities, heating, and actually got a full list of things which I'm going to be doing to it. There is absolutely loads. I'll come on to more of that in a moment. And the other thing it's going to be is a video studio, kind of a podcast studio, where I can actually sit in the back and talk to guests about various different topics, because there's going to be a lot of talk over the next series of videos, a lot of dialogue. I mean, some people will say that this shouldn't even be on the road. I mean, the rust on it, they're well renowned for rusting at T4s, but this is the key thing about what I'm going to be doing to this van. Every single thing I do to it, every component that I'm going to be installing in this van, it doesn't matter that it's going in a T4, because it could equally go in a T5, a brand new T7, a Mercedes Sprinter, you know, a Citroen Berlingo or whatever. Everything which is going to be done to it can be done in a whole array of vehicles, because we're talking about the actual individual components. We're talking about what makes one maybe better than the other. Why is this component cheaper to this? What actually does the part do? You know, we've all heard of a DC to DC charger, and we pretty much know what that does. But what's a shunt? You know, we're going to go into all the depth of these different components to find out what we should be having, like solar panel. You know, do we have a rigid panel or a flexible panel? And there's benefits, there's pros and cons to each of them. And that is going to be an aspect of the build which we're going to be doing, and we're going to be talking pretty much about the actual parts themselves rather than the actual van. If you're disappointed by that, don't worry, because the van will still be here, but we're going to be speaking to professionals in the industries. We're going to be sitting down. Well, one of them, a couple of them I've already done, Coombe Valley Campers. I spoke to him last week. We had a wander around and we talked about how you actually set out a camper van and the different order which you do it in. So do subscribe and have a look at that video next week. I've already spoken about the control panel which is going to be going in the van, and that video will probably follow the week after that one. I'm going to be sitting down with Batteries and Solar, based here in Plymouth, and we're going to be talking about loads and loads of different bits about the electrics, and lots more companies as well. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, there's no point in me watching because I'm not interested in a T4, there actually is, because if you're looking at buying a new van, you're going to be finding out different aspects of it. If you've got an old van and you're looking at kind of doing it up a bit, then you can be finding out about the new components. If you're doing a DIY build, then again, it's going to be absolutely perfect, because you will see the different types of furniture, the different kind of layouts which you're going to have. And on that case in point, the video which I've already done with Coombe Valley Campers, I've gone there with an idea to actually, this is what I want in the back of the van. And by the time I've come away, I've actually got a different idea. So yes. Anyway, let's have a proper look at the actual van. Long-term viewers of the channel won't be surprised I've got a green van. But to be honest with you, that was purely accidental. So let me talk you through the van which I've actually got and point out a few of the things which I'm going to be changing and a few of the things I'm going to be doing whilst on the way. But I picked this van up from Hatt Service Centre, based just outside of Saltash, just outside of Plymouth, just over the bridge in Cornwall. And they were absolutely brilliant. Brilliant guys to deal with, absolutely really, really smooth. I'll tell the story of why I bought it at a later date, but basically I went in there, no intention of buying it, and then came out and yes, obviously I've actually bought it. So yes, so let's have a look. As you can see, it is a T4 in green. No idea what kind of green it is. 18-inch alloy wheels, they are going to be changed. So I don't want those alloy wheels. Not decided on what look I'm going to go for, whether I'm going to be going the same kind of road wheels or maybe I'm going to go all-terrain. We shall see. But that's one of the topics which we're going to be talking about. You can see it's been colour-coded around the front in the green, which I don't know what colour it is. The headlights, got the clear lights there now, which I think looks really cool. Sidebar, I'm going to be wanting to put a sidebar along there and then along the top, along the roof. Plan is to put roof rack on there, kind of like a proper deep roof rack, because there is going to be an air conditioning unit on the roof. Now, if I didn't do anything there, then that'd just stick out like a sore thumb. So actually having the roof rack, being able to put a solar panel on there, carrying surfboards and bits and pieces like that, I think that would be absolutely cool. You know, something like Cactus do, that kind of style of things that they do. So coming around the back, you can see it's a single slider. It's got a few, I do need to find out what the actual paint is, because there are a few dings on it which I do need to sort out. And also that glass, I'm not sure if you can see, but it has been tinted and it's flipping awful inside. It is awful. So that's coming off. Not yet decided whether I'm going to go for windows with openings, so don't know, watch this space, we shall see. Around the back, tailgate. The southwest. Sorry, Colin, but the southwest, even though I'm actually from the northwest. We have stainless steel exhaust, which is pretty cool. Bike rack on the back, that's probably going to be coming off. Tow bar, so I can obviously put bikes and stuff on that. That's probably going to stay there. And you can see that we've got the sliding door around this side. So inside, it is a proper blank canvas. As you can see, they have carpeted, so this is going to be coming up. Now I don't know what's going to be underneath this floor, so that's obviously going to come away. You can see that it has been obviously boarded. Let's just pull this carpet up. And you can see it's yellow. Do you know why it's yellow? Why is it yellow? Yes, this used to be an AA van. It started its life in 1999. And for its first life purpose, it was an AA van. So yes, there are a few bits of yellow. There's not many because it has had a proper paint job. And I'm quite pleased to say that that is looking all right. There isn't actually, it is quite a solid van, I think, but I'm sure we shall find out more about that at a later date. So I'm going to have to strip all this out. This is obviously all going to come out. There's going to be another floor going in. Tailgate, probably stick some speakers in there, or speakers are going to go up there. I'll come onto the head unit in a minute because that needs changing. There's a light switch here. It's got some LED lights in already. Perfect. But that is going to change. So as far as lighting is concerned, there's going to be strip lights. There's going to be paneling on the side. I've already got some bits of artwork which are going to be going in here. We'll discuss the design, the layout, after I've talked about the Coombe Valley video, because things are going to be changing. I'm also going to be going seeing the guys at Cool Whip Campers. So Cool Whip Campers are again a local company to me. They're based just over in Tor Point, and they do actually build, manufacture and sell a lot of furniture, which you will see in some of the campervan conversions at some of the camper conversion companies, because conversion companies buy their products. In fact, Coombe Valley Campers had some of their units in their place when I went to see them a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to be talking about all the different types of furniture, all the different types of layouts which you could have, all the various different possibilities. Like I said, I've already changed my mind once. And even though I've changed my mind once, I've then developed that into something else. So I see campervans all the time. I see all these different layouts all the time. And yet I'm still tweaking different design elements. So it's not the easiest thing to do to get in a campervan. So as far as the carpeting on the floor, that's going to be going, the walls are going to be going. I'm going to take these panels off, find out what's underneath, because it's going to need insulation, whatever, however you say it. But you can see it's all a little bit saggy, and that's been up there for quite a while. But that's all going to come down anyway, because it's going to have a wooden ceiling of some kind of design. Not decided exactly what I'm going to do. I'll talk to you about that again in another video, because I've not decided. But up front we can see that we have a double passenger seat, and it's got the Inca. But yeah, so this has got a double passenger. Not sure whether I'm going to keep the double passenger or actually turn that into a captain, and it might depend on what I do decide to finalise in here, because obviously with all these electrics which I'm going to be having put in here, or installing a lot of them myself, I'm going to need a lot of space, and I don't really know exactly yet which system I'm going to be getting, how many components are going to be to it, because actually one system I might go for, and it's actually considerably smaller than the other ones. So I could put a unit kind of down here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have that swiveling. Whether it's going to stay as a double or a single, not entirely sure. But inside you can see you've got your captain, and we've got a couple of saggy armrests. Need to sort them out. That one and the other side as well are both knackered, basically. It's actually got a short throw gearbox, this, so you're not smashing the dashboard as you're changing gear, which is pretty cool. No cup holders. There's no cup holders, so we should soon sort that out. And also, there is no air conditioning yet. It's got a Sony stereo system, which is obviously rather old. Now, this van came out in 1999. That stereo system certainly isn't the original one. It's going to be upgraded, possibly. We shall see. Front speakers are going to be done, so I've already started speaking to a company with regards to that. Live Conversions, they did a lot of work when I had my T6. I'm speaking to them again. Really good guys, Stephen Lee. So the plan is to potentially upgrade the head unit, definitely put in some front speakers, rear speakers, and there's going to be focal amp. And I'm pointing there because it might even be able to go there, but not sure yet. We shall see. Maybe because I'm going to go into the driver's seat. Depends what I'm going to do with the electrics. There's lots and lots of these things to talk about. So as far as the mileage on this is concerned, it's done 146,000 miles. So yes, so it's done a lot, but actually in terms of T4s, it's not actually that much at all. It's not bad at all. You can see that they've carpeted here in the cab, and it's rather loose, rather baggy. It's like a shell suit of the 90s, extremely baggy. So we need to get that changed as well. But as you can see, look inside the door shuts. I mean, it's been a decent paint job, and it's not been done that long ago. So obviously with a T4, you are concerned about rust. But I've had a look at some of the key places, and even around the windscreen, it does look pretty solid. Now, I'm no expert on rust, but yeah, that does need sorted. And it has had some work done. You know, it's a 26-year-old vehicle. It is inevitable that it's going to have had work done. So we just make sure that, keep on top of it, keep it regularly checked, and when it needs something doing, just get it done, but look after it the best I possibly can, and it'll last for a long time. To drive, I do like it. A few people said to me, are you sure you're going to be wanting to drive a T4? Yeah, absolutely love it. It might have windy windows, but it is cool. Squeaky, windy windows. But yeah, it is a good drive. It's enjoyable. It's not quite got the smoothness of the T7 maybe not got the power, the poke of the 170 horsepower, or obviously the 252 as far as the petrol hybrid's concerned. I do actually quite like it. Don't get me wrong, it isn't a modern drive, it's an older vehicle, but it's quirky, and I think it's pretty cool. But this video isn't going to be about cool and quirky and all that, it's going to be educational. There's going to be a lot of information featuring in this series over the next, well, it's going to be quite a long period of time, because there are a lot of videos to do. There's still going to be a lot of campervan reviews as well. I'm still going to be doing loads of those. I've actually got a couple of those lined up as well. So there's still going to be a lot of other things. But as far as this is concerned, there's going to be lots of educational. You know, one of the first things which I'm going to be doing is obviously stripping it out, finding out what the damage is, whether anything needs doing before I start kind of adding to it. Would be sound deadened, insulated. It's probably already got a lot of that done, but we'll see kind of what the condition of it is like. And then it's going to be the electrical system. Now that is going to be a big part, because what I have planned to be using the power for, i.e. the air conditioning unit on the roof, that isn't just going to be for whilst I'm driving. Because yes, it will be done when I'm driving as well, but it will also be used in habitation mode. Now, for it to be used in habitation mode, it's obviously going to need some massive batteries. And I'm not silly, you know, I know that I'm not going to be able to cram, you know, ridiculous amounts of amperage. And even if I did, it's still not going to last an awful long time. But I'll explain a bit more about that as we go into more detail about it. You know, along with the wiring, there's going to be cables for the speakers and things like that, so they're all going to be done as well. So that'll kind of be done at the same time as the electric, so they're all like fed in. Yeah, as I say about the stereo, 1999. You know what was number one in 1999 when this was born in December? Millennium Prayer, Cliff Richard. And I think every time it comes for an MOT, I might be saying a little prayer myself, because it's an old vehicle. Yeah, I might have made a mistake. Yes, you might be mocking me in the comments, but ah well, you only live once, don't you? And I actually really like it. This green, it's actually much better in the flesh than I originally first thought. It was one of those that kind of grew on me. So we're going to be looking at the ceiling, we're going to be looking at the floor, all the different panelling as far as that's concerned. We're going to be looking at sidebars, wheels, maybe suspension, the best Wi-Fi for the van, and I'm actually filming that video later this week as I'm at the But festival. Got various different devices. Probably already know what's going to win, but we'll test them out at different price points, and never know, might be surprised. But that's not a sponsored video. I borrowed one of the units and I bought one of them myself. I'll explain more about that in that actual video. We're going to be looking how I'm going to be able to cook in the van, how I'm going to be able to wash up afterwards, how I'm going to be able to store water, keep water, how I'm going to be able to have a shower. I've got the shower test which is coming up, the various different showers, toilet as well. Talking about diesel heaters, how I can integrate a diesel heater into this, and then also the control panel as well. Although I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that yet, but yeah, watch this space as far as that's concerned. That'll obviously come in a couple of months' time. Don't want a diesel heater today, it's flipping roasting. But I've got a couple of options as far as that's concerned. So I said I was going to be using it kind of like a video, podcasty type studio, so where I have conversations with people. Now it can take a little while where I set up the tripod, set up the camera, set up all the microphones and things. Well, it'll be kind of 90% there already when I pull up somewhere, get in the back. There's obviously going to be facilities for having drinks. So yes, there's going to be fridge options, which I'm going to be discussing in the videos. There's going to be the air conditioning, so we can kind of keep that temperature right. As far as the panelling is concerned, this is where we're going to be talking about different things. So the sound deadening insulation, that'll obviously help, and then potentially the acoustic panelling, which I had that idea ages ago, and now it seems that everybody's sticking it in the van. So you know, I'm kind of thinking, do I be different and not do it? It's like, well, no, because that's what I want to put in there. But yeah, we'll talk about that more as the time comes closer. But I'm going to be introducing to different manufacturers, different converters, parts and components which you might not have seen before, parts and components which you might not have heard of. So if there is any manufacturer, converter out there who's just got a product which you think would be suitable for it, then do let me know. I want to speak to brands, I want to speak to companies, talk to installers, find out how their product is going to benefit people. So I've already got a few ideas as far as what battery I will be going for. I've already chosen a lot of the components myself, and I've also bought quite a few things already. But yeah, reach out if you've got anything, you've got any ideas, then do let me know, because this is going to be very, very fluid. But involving you as companies, involving you as manufacturers, that's how we can talk to each other and get the message out there and let people learn about different things, like the batteries and solar, talking about what's the difference between a flexible panel and a rigid panel. That is going to be of great benefit to anybody who's looking to buy one. I'm looking to add value to other people so other people can find out about these things. You know, there are a lot of things in the campervan industry which don't get explained. So we're going to explain it here. We're going to talk about them on the channel so other people can find out what's good for them. Because not everything, I'm not saying anything's bad, but I'm just saying what's good for one person might not be good for another. So give you the options, like I've always done. Give you the options, and then you can decide what's right or what's not for you. So I want to hear from you. What are you doing at the moment? What are you trying to figure out as far as your van's concerned? Are there any components that you're thinking, oh, I don't know whether to go for this, I don't know whether to go to that? What does this mean? Then do let me know in the comments, because the chances are we're going to be talking about it. And if I've not thought about it, and I've not planned on talking about it, then maybe I can. There are so many good people in this campervan industry, and I'm going to be meeting a lot of them. I'm going to be talking to them about all things campervan, every aspect, right from the start to the finish, starting with Lee from Coombe Valley Campers next week. So yeah, so do subscribe if you want to see that. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I've made a mistake or I've made the best decision of my life. Anyway, if you haven't seen any of the other campervan videos I've done, you can have a look at those here. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you soon.